If every bee on Earth vanished tomorrow, there wouldn't be riots in the streets or instant global starvation. The most immediate change would simply be the quiet in our gardens. Our primary caloric staples would remain untouched. Crops like wheat, rice, and corn reproduce by releasing pollen into the wind, functioning perfectly well without insects. Having enough calories to survive creates a false sense of security. While the grain silos stay full, a much quieter collapse begins in the broader food web. The danger is much slower, a steady, systemic dismantling of the diversity within our food system. We rely on a massive, invisible workforce. There are over 20,000 species of wild bees and managed honeybees buzzing around the globe, quietly pollinating 75% of our crop varieties and 90% of all wild flowering plants. We have been pushing that workforce to its limit. As agriculture expands, we replace natural habitats with heavily cultivated fields and apply aggressive chemical pesticides. On top of chemical stress, there is a severe biological threat. A parasitic mite, Varroa destructor, attaches directly to the honeybee's thorax to feed on its fat bodies, carrying colony-destroying viruses. When habitat loss and chemical exposure combine with these parasites, they trigger colony collapse disorder. The hives empty out, and the mechanism of pollination grinds to a halt. By breaking this biological backbone, we have incurred a massive ecological debt. That bill comes due at the very next harvest. The first sign of trouble hits the orchards. Without bees to move pollen, dependent crops like almonds, apples, and cherries fail to fruit. The economic devastation happens quickly. A total loss of pollination drops global agricultural trade by 28%, a $729 billion deficit. Surviving specialized crops see extreme inflation, turning basic produce into luxury items. The economic fallout eventually reaches the human body. Grain calories are enough to sustain life, but the supply of essential micronutrients crashes without pollinators. Specifically, vitamin A availability drops by 8% worldwide. This triggers widespread malnutrition, hitting hardest in the global south, where economies rely on exports like cocoa. Humanity survives the initial shock, but global health and wealth fracture, separating those who can afford nutrition from those who cannot. To save the orchards, humans try to do the work themselves. Farm workers take to the fields, painstakingly transferring pollen by hand with feather dusters. The sheer volume of labor required makes this impossible to maintain. You cannot hire enough humans to visit every single flower on millions of acres of farmland. So we turn to technology. Engineers have now designed miniature robotic biodrones that hover and artificially transfer pollen. These tiny robots have severe limitations. They are expensive to build, their batteries drain fast, and they cannot produce honey. Human engineering and capital cannot match the scale of nature. We cannot build a replacement for billions of self-replicating workers that previously operated for free. While human agriculture struggles, wild ecosystems face total unraveling. Out in the wild, 90% of flowering plants are suddenly unable to reproduce, causing them to wither and drop barren petals to the soil. This triggers an ecological chain reaction known as a trophic cascade. The wild herbivores, birds, and insects that rely exclusively on those flowers, fruits, and seeds quickly starve. This animated network diagram maps the resulting collapse. As the foundational plant nodes disappear, the herbivores that eat them die off, and the apex predators follow, collapsing the structure from the bottom up. The extinction of a single pollinator class systematically deletes entire branches of the animal kingdom. The humans left behind persist on a monotonous diet of wind-pollinated grains. The environment around us becomes noticeably less colorful, less diverse, and highly fragile to any further ecological shocks. The prosperity of our global food system relied on the silent, relentless work of an insect we largely took for granted. The final result is a slow loss of color and vitality, leaving us alive in a world stripped of the diversity that allowed it to thrive.